Hello everyone, my name is Chromoid, and this is the first ever custom-made race course for Netter. This is a little project I am currently working on to see if it's possible to have a full-fledged multiplayer race on Netter without actually involving multiplayer. As you may or may not know, the current AI is not smart enough to be set on a race mode. It will target the nearest available enemy and circle it at the set broadside range and angle until it is either it or its target is destroyed. I'm proposing a little workaround to make it so you can race, and this course is part of that workaround. I'm going to be designing hopefully quite a few more of these on this little custom world that I'm editing. It's basically just a completely water-covered Netter, and I'm adding little bits of land in here and there and little race courses like this to make things interesting. But here's the main part of the event. Everyone will have an AI with your piloting card of choice, aerial or naval, and you also have attached to that AI a target prioritization card. And the target prioritization card will be set so that it ignores all other enemies except those at a higher altitude. And this is a buoy. It spawns on the player faction in this setup, which is not the actual player faction. It's a different one that I made myself. And this buoy will be the highest thing in the race. The max altitude will be around 10 to 15 meters for all competitors. I've already tested this multiple times, and the racers actually do path their way through that entire river you just saw to get to this buoy, if their TPGCs are set to target only max altitude things. You can, using this situation and this setup, you can have a second AI with another target prioritization card, and you can set that to ignore everything at altitude and set it, to target things that are moving very fast or things with a lot of engines, and basically that would be your weapon AI. So you can actually have, with this setup, a death race style, Mad Max style, Roman chariot, whatever you want to have. It is an all-out brawl all the way to the finish line, and I've set it up so that when they pass this marker, the first person to pass it, no matter what faction they're on, will end the instance and bring up a little victory screen for them. So without further ado, let me give you a little taste of what I'm talking about. Alright, I have set up 3 little boats that I made myself. They're by no means exceptional, as you'll see in a few minutes probably. And I've put each one on a different faction. This is Deepwater Guard, this is the Onyx Watch, and this is the White Flayers. You can do this with any of the 9 in-game factions, including the player faction if you want to, although that has, whatever color settings I have set up, which means you can have up to 9 racers. Now obviously it's probably not going to work in a channel of this size, so I have spawned 3 in, and we'll hope that 1 makes it to the other side. Real quick, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, this is a Dediblade driven, jet steered little craft with hydrofoils underneath. If I can get under there and look at them, there they are. A bunch of rubber blocks to kind of hopefully stave off some collisions. 2 engines. There is the targeting card for the weapons. See, it just has the 1 TPGC on it. And up under here is, you can't see it, but there is another card. There it is. This is my piloting card. It's got the AI for the naval, and it's also got another TPGC. And this is set up, I wish I could get a hold of it, but it's basically set up so that it will only go after things that are very high up, whereas the one in the back that targets the weapons ignores everything that's very high up. And on top here we have a small, it's 2-barreled, but you can't see that because I've got it paused when I spawned it in. Little 2-barreled 30mm cannon up here. And in the back I've got 4 missile launchers for distracting those who happen to fall behind. So we're going to launch these and hopefully see some mayhem, carnage, and a lot of fun. Keep in mind that this is still kind of very much a test, and due to the sheer nature of the race, there's a very good chance none of these guys will make it. I've had that happen multiple times in previous tests, so just be aware that's a thing that can happen, and it's quite entertaining to watch. Also, they're stuffed with repair bots, so if you're wondering why they suddenly go from half health to full again, that's why. And that will also be part of the races too. You know, it's no fun if someone can't come back from a loss. Alright, racers ready? On your mark, get set, go! And they're off. There are those dual cannons working. And I apologize for the fuzzy sound. My computer, for some reason, does not like rendering the sounds in this game. Oof. Oh, near collision with DWG and OW. White flares are taking a wide loop to avoid that kind of mayhem, which is kind of uncharacteristic for them if you think about it. Looks like DWG is taking the lead. Onyx Watch is falling behind, now tied with White Flares for second place. White Flares sneaking up there. Deepwater Guard looks like it might be one to hug that cliffside, which is not advisable. Those things rise up very fast out of the water. There they go. And again, I know the frame rates are awful. I have a very crappy computer. Alright, we're coming up on the rather jagged section here. I'm probably going to color this biome differently later on, but it's got a very high mountainous look to it. DWG and Onyx Watch are just hammering each other. And of course Onyx Watch and White Flares, and of course the DWG is more than happy to lob missiles back at them anytime it can. These things do have a lot of ammo for their size, so if one takes a significant hit, don't be surprised if it blows in half. This is actually the tamest race I've ever watched on this course so far, and I've watched quite a few of them, pulling my hair out in frustration trying to get these things to work properly, but my goodness, they are behaving very nicely. I've had races that end about right in this point in the course with two of them upside down and half health, and one at 75% health doing loop-de-loops because it's been imbalanced and the Daddy Blades in the back are making it do backflips. But this is a close race. Oh no, no, watch that cliff. Watch that cliff. Sometimes those jets get submerged at the wrong times and then it can't steer itself out of the way of harm. And again, like I said, I am not good at building these things. I don't know how to make things go fast. If I want them to go fast, they're in the air, not on the water. And you can, and the tournament I think about doing with these rules, you can make hovercraft and skimmers that are proper aerial craft that aren't supposed to touch the water. They just can't go above a certain altitude. For as much as for mechanics' sake as anything else, I want this to be an all-out brawl. Use any exploit, anything you want to. Make it a race. Don't build like a 15 meters per second moving wall that covers the entire course. That probably won't work either, but I mean, I want this to be open-ended. And I want it to be one of those things where you have no idea what you're going to see when you go in. I plan to put some jumps in this thing, depending on what types of vehicles are in there. White Flares are starting to do their thing. There they go. And they are laying into the Onyx Watch. Now, these cannons are not going to do much damage. It's like a 58 HP flat cannon, or flak hit every time they hit. It's like 58 damage. And that massive repair bot I stuffed in them is going to repair that well before any significant damage can be done. It's the missiles in the back and the cliffs that you got to watch out for. All it takes is one bad collision like this one's about to have. Turn out of the way. Oh, nope, he's messed. He's gone. That Deepwater Guard. Oh, that was not how you go around a cliff, buddy. Yeah, what's this? Where's White Flares? Oh, White Flares. Oh, no. Oh, the White Flares ate it, too. And there goes another ammo rack. It might be the Onyx Watch's race to win. They managed to get through that unscathed. It's just trucking along. Now, this little section causes trouble for these guys sometimes. I'm hoping he pulls it off. Come on. Let there be a winner for this one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's unfortunate. And the steering AI is right in the nose of that thing, so unless he can get himself off and don't blow an ammo rack out. Oh, don't flip either. Oh dear. Thank you for turning that off, AI. And see, the other two are still hammering him from over there, even though he's technically the winner. And at this point, he is quite clearly the winner. I mean, it's not a question. Even if he misses the marker and everything, I was kind of hoping he'd get there, because there's really something really cool about those buoys I'd like to show off. But then, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. Can he make that turn? No, he can't. And there's the backflips I was talking about. Deepwater Guard kindly showing off the prowess of my building skills there. Yeah. A PID would probably help a lot in these things, but, you know, what the heck, it's for fun. Technically, that Onyx watch is one. Ideally, they rush through here straight to the buoy. There's nukes all over it. It would detonate just as they got there, and then they would hit the marker, and that would trigger the end of the event. But this works well for my purposes. It gives me an idea of just what you can expect. Probably put some jumps over some of these lower mountains and stuff to, you know, facilitate some shortcuts. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, just to give y'all an idea. I know some people have been looking at my posts on the forums and kind of wondering what the heck he's talking about. That this is how it's going to work, and it works pretty well. I mean, it's not ideal, and it's not supposed to be. It's a death race. There are times when nobody wins. Especially me, because I'm crap at building fast things that are actually agile and don't run into things every time. You don't know how many versions, actually, you do know how many versions. 45. Yeah, it took me a while just to build that. But anyway, I hope that gave y'all a bit of an eye-opener as to what we're talking about. And if you have any suggestions, ideas, or comments on how we could do this or make it better, or if it's a bad idea entirely, or if you're interested in playing, let me know. That's all I have for today. Peace.